In February 2024, I posted a video about the disappearance of Chelsea Grimm, a young woman who vanished under mysterious circumstances in northern Arizona. Roughly 6 months after Chelsea Grimm's disappearance, a second woman goes missing.
26-year-old Amanda Neniger. She was reported missing February 28th and last seen near the Arizona-California right by Blythe.
And then just 10 days later, a third woman vanishes.
But on March 9th, Shayna went missing and hasn't been seen or heard from since.
In the span of 6 months, 3 women vanish without a trace. Their personal vehicles are discovered abandoned in remote wilderness areas. There is no sign of a struggle, a fight, or a break-in at the location the vehicles are found. And despite significant search and rescue efforts, none of these women have been found to this day. At this point, the only question on my mind is, what exactly is happening in Arizona to cause a woman to vanish without a trace? To discuss the case of Chelsea Grimm's disappearance, I have made my way out back to Williams, Arizona, and I am currently located in one of the last places Chelsea Grimm was seen alive. In late September 2023, Chelsea was going to take a road trip from San Diego, California to Connecticut in order to attend a close friend's wedding. At the time, she had just gotten a pet bearded dragon. Now, her plan was to travel with her pet bearded dragon and take him on the airplane, but she soon discovered that no airlines would allow her to take the pet lizard on. So she devised a new plan on taking a solo cross-country road trip from San Diego to Connecticut and taking the bearded dragon along with her. But only a few days into the road trip, she kind of came to the conclusion that driving all the way across the country was going to be a bit overwhelming for her. So she decided to change her plans and just go camping throughout Arizona for a few days before returning to San Diego and then flying out from there to the wedding in Connecticut. Now, as Chelsea began to make her way into northern Arizona, this is when things get kind of strange for her. During the investigation into her disappearance, it was found that she attempted to get a hotel room in one of the local motels located here. And on security camera footage, she asks the guy at the front desk if he takes euros because she wanted to pay in cash because she intended to go off the grid and stay off the grid, and that's why she didn't want to use any of her credit cards.
Unless you take euros, or anyone in town exchanges euros. I was trying to stay off the grid. I don't really. That's the problem. I was hoping not to use the card.
Now, after that strange exchange with the man at the motel, she came to this cemetery here, and she spent the afternoon doing photography around the cemetery and was parked near the gate. And she was sitting there for quite a while, and one of the local residents decided to call and report a suspicious vehicle. And that's when an officer arrived and the following interaction happened.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got back on the road.
I'm just making sure someone called it in. So
I'm sorry.
No, you're quite all right. I mean,
I was just doing a photo shoot, yeah. Packed up. I'm going to leave soon.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to drive like that. Sad.
I got you. You've been smoking a little bit of marijuana?
Earlier today, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have your license on you by any chance?
Yeah. I'm trying to do a series on the lost and the forgotten people in this country.
I know you told me that you smoked marijuana and you're kind of, well, obviously I would be in an emotional state as well. I don't know if you want somebody else to drive you or if you just want to hang out here for a little bit longer. You're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
If I hang out here for another like 15 or 20 and then head on the road, that would be my plan,
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, I don't see any signs of impairment or anything like that, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, with my eyesight and then crying, it's not the best combination at night.
I totally
I was like,
understand.
I'm just gonna like cry on the road, or I'm just gonna sit here and cry. So I
I got
have
you.
my dragon, and I'm just.
Oh, that's freaking cool! I didn't even notice that.
Thanks, Rosie.
Wow, Rosie,
I
that's.
think she's asleep.
Wow, right on.
She got bored.
Yeah. Do you have like a hotel around here or anything?
I don't. I was actually thinking of just camping for the night, but I wasn't really sure exactly yet.
Gotcha. Well,
I didn't plan to be here until sunset.
Okay, you can't camp in the city limits. It's kind of like a city statute we have.
Okay, good to
But
know.
you can always go. I don't know if you can see like the yellow lights over there, the Loves. It's a trucker stop in the gas station area. You can just sleep there. Nobody will bother you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yes.
Might get some good shots at sunrise too there.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sunrise here too. If you ever want to take photo shoots of like the statues in the morning, dude, it's really cool because the sun's like rises right behind them.
Amazing. Okay, I'll probably stay at the truck stop then, save some money, and then come over for the sunrise.
You got it.
Cool.
All right. Well,
Now, after the strange interaction with police, she made her way into a local national forest. And now this is when Chelsea Grimm completely disappeared. Her vehicle was found a few days later in very strange circumstances 20 miles into this national forest. Now, when the hunters found her vehicle, it was parked in the middle of the road. It didn't appear anything malicious had happened to the vehicle. There were no broken windows. There was no signs of a struggle or anything like that. But it was parked in the middle of the road, completely abandoned. Now, when investigators eventually made their way out to the scene and got into the vehicle, they noticed that a couple of Chelsea's belongings were missing, like her cell phone, her keys, credit cards, those kinds of things, and left all this important stuff in the vehicle. And this is where the case of Chelsea Grimm went cold. Nobody knows what happened to her after she drove out into the national forest. There were weeks of official and non-official searches from police organizations to just local search and rescue groups, and no sign, no trail, nothing of Chelsea Grimm has been seen in the last 6 months. Two years ago, Shayna Feynman wanted to leave New York and move somewhere remote where she could do a lot of camping and hiking, and she just really wanted to leave the city life behind and reconnect with nature.
Being in nature and camping are things that made her really happy.
Now, about a month and a half ago, in early March 2024, Shayna Feynman's friend had been watching her dog for about a week. At this point, she hadn't heard from Shayna and was curious if Shayna had gotten back from her camping trip. So Shayna's friend drives out here to the property, and when she shows up, she finds Shayna's car. And on further inspection, she finds all of Shayna's camping gear is packed up, wallet and her passport are in the car, her clothes are in the car, pretty much everything important to her is located in the vehicle. Asking people who live on the property what happened to Shayna, two kind of narratives end up coming out.
What happened that day?
She left the property, from what my understanding, with the clothes on her back, her phone, and a portable charging pack and a cord.
Now, after learning all this and being very concerned for Shayna's safety, her friend ended up reporting her missing, and the sheriff's office came out here and interviewed everyone and ended up being concerned enough that they did a full sweep of the entire 40-acre property. They were out here for several days with a large group of people, and they even had dogs sniff every corner of the property, every tree, every boulder, every building searched. But Shayna never showed up. No sign of Shayna showed up. The only thing I guess they did find during the search is the little portable charger. Now, I couldn't find anything online that said where exactly the portable charger was found, but it was located from what I can tell. And that is where the story goes cold. It's been about a month and a half, and Shayna Feynman is nowhere to be found. From a couple of the articles online, there are rumors that there is some sort of love interest or boyfriend of Shayna's that after this incident occurred is refusing to cooperate with law enforcement or talk to them or any way and is refusing to be interviewed.
They haven't found her cell phone. The charger box, though, that she went into the woods with showed back up about 3 days later.
Kara says Shayna has been in a relationship, and that person has not been cooperating with the sheriff's investigation.
I truthfully and hopefully feel there is foul play. I could not in a million years picture my sister leaving her dog and her car with all of her belongings and just walking into the woods and not returning unless she was running from something or something terrible has happened.
Now, what I find very fascinating about this case and the previous case we just talked about, the disappearance of Chelsea Grimm, is how similar both of these cases are. Now, both of these women disappeared within 6 months of each other. Both of them disappeared up here in northern Arizona in very close proximity to each other. Both of these women were in the process of camping out in the wilderness when they disappeared. Both of their vehicles were discovered abandoned by them with all of their camping gear and personal belongings and anything important to them inside the vehicle. And to this day, both of these women are still missing, and both of their cases are cold. Now, sitting here right behind me is the valley that Amanda Neidiger's car was located in after she went missing in late February 2024. Now, just before I had a chance to come out here and shoot video on this location, something interesting happened with this case. Amanda Neidiger's body has been located.
A young mother is stranded in the middle of the night somewhere near the California-Arizona border. She calls 911 for help, but despite talking with dispatchers for an hour, help would not arrive in time to save Amanda Neidiger.
911 emergency, what are you reporting?
I think I fell asleep at the wheel.
Okay, where at?
Coming from Anza to Hemet.
Going from Anza to Hemet.
Yeah, so like the 79 freeway down to the 74.
Okay, so you're in Hemet right now?
I'm not sure where I am.
For some reason, made her way all the way up this road and continued for another 1.5 miles behind me down into this remote mountain valley. After getting her vehicle stuck on top of a boulder, she made her way onto a nearby hilltop where she made a 911 call.
But what do you see around you? Do you see just fields? Is that all you see?
Well, I'm like kind of stuck in a valley.
Okay, we're trying to narrow it down here. So do you see like a house, any kind of buildings?
I don't see houses.
Okay. Are you next to a house?
I see trees. I see possibly a canal.
Okay.
Now, the issue with this 911 call, given our proximity and how close we are to the California border, she managed to pick up cell towers located in California, which connected her to a California dispatching office. Now, Amanda had given her exact GPS coordinates to the 911 operator.
16, and then after that?
Apostrophe.
Okay, and then?
53.
53, okay.
Period.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Apostrophe.
Okay.
Capital N.
Capital N, okay. And then what's after that?
114.
Okay. Is there a minus before that or no?
No.
Okay, so 114.
And then 35. Apostrophe. 25.
Okay.
0. Apostrophe what?
And somehow within the dispatching office, there was a error in coordinating where she was located at to search and rescue personnel. And search and rescue personnel ended up searching a location located over 30 miles away.
It's kind of throwing me off because she's sitting off a tower near Palo Verde, off of 78 and Clark Way. But I had to go into her Google Maps, and I had her press the blue button that was telling her that it's her. So she was able to read off the coordinates, and it put her in your guys' area, on the north side of the 10 off the 95 somewhere.
The 911 call lasted for just over an hour, up until Amanda's phone ran out of battery.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, what's going on now?
I'm gonna faint. Okay.
Her car was soon located by a man driving an off-road vehicle down into this valley. And the search for Amanda continued on the correct location soon after that. Roughly a week ago, Amanda's body was located under a tree less than a quarter mile away from where she made the original 911 phone call. At this point, I've done extensive research and visited the location of all three of these cases. Yet, I don't feel like I'm any closer to a conclusion. So I decided to circle back to the beginning and see if I missed any cases. In June 2021, a man named Daniel Robinson leaves a remote job site outside of Phoenix under strange circumstances. Months later, his car is found 3 miles away upside down in a ditch. He is missing to this day. April 2007, a German tourist named Reinhard Kirchner goes missing while hiking alone in northern Arizona. His rental camper is later discovered abandoned. He has never been seen again. July 2012, a man from Minnesota named Sean Rentz leaves home suddenly after expressing unhappiness at work. Days later, his car is found thousands of miles away, abandoned on the side of the road in Sedona, Arizona. 5 months later, his body is discovered at the bottom of a cliff 3/4 of a mile away from where his car was found, missing all of his clothes and shoes. September 2015, a man named Lawrence Cosden is camping alone in Chiricahua National Monument. His car was found abandoned at his campsite, and a woman had reportedly had a conversation with him at a trailhead nearby days prior. He has never been found. April 1998, a man named David Miller embarked on his first solo assignment as a U.S. Forest Ranger. When he failed to return, his car was found abandoned at the Vultee Arch trailhead. After several weeks of intense search and rescue efforts, he was never found. June 2016, a man named Floyd Roberts completed a 9-day camping adventure at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. While hiking out, he decided to take a separate trail from his two friends and meet up with them at the top. He never arrived at his meetup point, and his body never recovered. At this point in the investigation, there is really only one conclusion I can make. This phenomenon is much, much larger than I could have ever imagined.